Hello and welcome to this lab demonstration on working with certificates. At the beginning of this lab, we already need to be familiar with the concept of PKI certificates in VMware vSphere. In this lab, we will examine the machine SSL certificate, then we will generate a certificate signing request for the custom certificate. After that, we are going to request a custom certificate, and finally, we are going to replace the current certificate with a custom certificate. I'm sure I provided you enough good reasons to watch the following video on working with certificates, so let's get started. At the beginning of this lab, we need to examine the existing machine SSL certificate of our SA VCSA 01 vClass local vCenter server. For doing that, we need to click on Menu and we need to choose the administration section here. Now, on the left navigation pane, we need to find the certificate management section. Let's click on it. So here we have our machine certificate. Let's verify that we are going to work with our SA VCSA 01 vClass local, or we need to choose the correct one right here. So let's click on View Details of our machine certificate. Let's see it. So this certificate was assigned to our SA VCSA 01 vClass local vCenter server. This certificate is valid right now. It is valid from April the 8th of 2022, and it's valid until April the 7th of 2024. Also, we can see here the thumbprint of our certificate. Let's remember, for example, last 4 digits of this particular thumbprint for us to be able to compare it with our custom certificate, which we are going to request and assign to our VCSA a bit later in this lab. So let's go back to our certificate management page, and now let's generate a new certificate signing request for our particular needs. Let's click on Actions, Generate Certificate Signing Request, and now we need to type some additional information for this particular CSR. We need to provide this CSR with some information like organization. Let's call it VMware. Let's call our organization unit education. Let's call our state and province California. Let's select a locality. Let's type Palo Alto. And let's type an email address, which is going to be certadmin@vmware.com. And let's click on Next. Here we can see the body of our certificate signing request. Let's download it as the file. So let's click on Download. Let's choose the Save File option here. Let's click OK. And now we need to download this certificate signing request to a particular path. Let's go to local disk C materials downloads, and let's save this file as a default option here, SA VCSA 01 vClass local CSR. Let's click on Save, and here we can click on Finish. Now we need to actually process this particular certificate signing request. For doing this, we need to go to the Infrastructure tab in our Firefox browser. Here we need to choose a certificate services. Let's open it in a new tab. Now we need to click on Request a certificate here, and now we need to choose the Advanced Certificate Request link here. Here we need to copy and paste the body of our certificate signing request right here. So let's go to our disk C, materials, downloads folder, and here we have our SA VCSA CSR. Let's open it with a notepad. Here is the body of our certificate signing request. Let's select the whole body of this certificate. Be careful not to select any additional spaces here. Let's copy it and let's paste it right here. So here we are. Let's choose the certificate template for this particular certificate. Let's choose the vSphere 7 template and let's click on submit. So here we can download the particular certificate and the certificate chain. We need to download both of them. So let's choose the base64 encoded format. Let's click on download certificate. Let's choose the save file option here. And let's save this file to our materials downloads folder again. Let's call this file machine SSL ser. Let's click on save and let's download the certificate chain for this particular certificate. Let's click on certificate chain again. Let's choose the save file option here. Let's call it CA chain. Let's click on save. Now we need to go to our local disk C materials downloads here. Here we can see our certificate sign request, our machine SSL ser certificate, and our CA chain. Let's right click on this particular CA chain. Let's click on open. We need to export the root certificate from this particular CA chain for us to be able to upload it to our vCenter. So let's unwrap the C materials download CA chain B7B. Let's click on certificates and here we can see the exact certificate for SA VCSA01 vClass local and vClass DCSA root certificate. So let's click on our vClass DCSA. Let's right click on it. Let's choose the all tasks option and now we need to choose the export option here and the certificate export wizard has been launched. Here we need to click on next. We need to choose the base64 x500.ser options right here. We need to click on next. We need to browse, we need to find the location where we are going to export our certificate. Let's go back to our local disk C materials downloads and let's save this certificate as root 64 certificate. Let's click on save. Let's click on next. Now we're going to leave all these particular options as the default. Let's click on finish. And the export was successful. We may close the certificate manager right now. And here we can see our root 64 certificate right now. So we are ready to upload those certificates to our VCSA server. Let's go back to our vSphere client. Again, let's find the machine cert information in our certificate management page. Let's click on actions and let's click on import and replace certificate option. We have an alert here which allows us to understand that our vCenter service will be automatically restarted after successful replacement of the machine SSL certificate. So when we are going to complete this particular task, we will need to wait for around maybe 10 minutes for those configuration changes to be applied. So let's replace the certificate with generated from vCenter server. Let's click on next. Now we need to browse both our files, our new machine SSL certificate, which was machine SSL.ser, and our chain of trusted root certificates. So let's click on our first browse file here. Let's go to our PC, disk C, materials, downloads. Now we need to choose our machine SSL ser certificate. Let's click on open. And now we need to browse our additional file, which is going to be root-64.ser. Let's choose it. Let's click on open. And now let's click on replace button right here. So our vSphere client session is no longer authenticated because of the certificate change. So let's click on OK. Let's go to our Firefox browser and let's clear its cache for us to be able to reconnect to our vCenter again. Let's clear the cached web content at least. Let's click on clear. And we can actually close our Firefox browser session for us to be able to revisit our vCenter after a couple of minutes. So here we're back again. Let's go back to our SAVCSA01. Let's log in again. Let's type a password. And now we are back in our VCSA, our vCenter server. So let's go back to our certificate management page. Let's close our licensing information. Here we can see our new certificate. Let's verify its details. This certificate is valid. It is issued by a different issuer right now. Our previous certificate was issued by our VCSA itself. Now it's issued by vClass DC Certificate Authority. It is valid. It is valid from June 7th of 2022, and it's valid until June the 6th of 2027. And here we can see the completely different thumbprint for this particular machine certificate. So our lab is completed. Let's go to menu, shortcuts, and here we are. So congratulations, you have completed the Working with Certificates lab demonstration video. During this lab, we have seen how to examine the machine SSL certificate, how we can generate a certificate signing request, what do we need to do to request a custom certificate, and finally, how we can replace the current certificate with a custom certificate. Thank you for watching this lab demonstration video. I hope the knowledge acquired here will help you with your daily job assignments, and good luck as you continue your journey in VMware world.